Yeah, my hair. Hey guys, long time. I bet you were like, where is Jax? My life isn't the same without her. Not really. You probably like, who the fuck is Jax? So one thing I really want to just get like straight into there today, you know, New Year's resolutions and all, being more consistent with my posting, being more upfront, being more honest about certain things, as in being honest but showing more than I usually do. For example, I don't usually speak about problems I still have today, or I always like to talk about problems that I've overcome. So if anyone has watched any of the videos on my channel, you'll know that I suffered with an eating disorder from the age of about 13, 14 to 23. And you know, I like to help people, coach them through it, whether it's eating healthily, loving your body, all of that. But there are certain long-term side effects. Now, the one thing that I see getting a lot of attention lately is lack of period. Now, anyone you don't necessarily have to have an eating disorder, but if you are very much of a compulsive exerciser or a diet restrictor, it's not as much about the restriction of a diet or about the dietary restrictions. Yes, that I will come into that later, because there are pretty much 3 parts to losing your period and then getting it back. Just for a side note, I haven't had my period in 4 years actually. So this is pretty much me wanting to publicly work through it. So maybe there's someone that wants to join me along, or someone that's been scared or anything like that, just let me know. It's, you know, it's nothing actually different nowadays. And again, I'm going to explain why now. So first things first is that the the exercise compulsivity, the diet compulsivity, it comes from one main root, and that compulsive lifestyle, that type of obsession, OCD, it's very stressful. As in, you spend your whole day worrying about what you're going to eat next, how what you're going to eat is going to affect your body, what your next workout's going to be, how that's going to impact your body, how that's going to work your gains. Is that going to develop your ass? Is that going to give you bigger quads? Whatever. It doesn't matter as such what the stress it is. It's just the fact that there is that constant little voice, or that there's that little constant zizzing, I suppose, if you want to call it. And that constant state of stress produces increased cortisol levels, and then again, that is what stops your period. It's pretty much like a survival instinct for your body. Now with me, it was because I was in that state for so long, when my body fat had dropped, and I'm obviously a healthy body fat now. But, you know, back then, because it was such a long period of time, what happened was a cyst had developed on my pituitary gland. So now, I mean, apparently that's really common. I went for an fMRI, everything. It is something that happens a lot to people that struggle with eating disorders. It's that survival mechanism. It's the cyst builds up. A lot of the time it does go away on its own, but because I was in that state for so long, it hasn't. So this is pretty much me trying to explain and to teach people how to live that holistic lifestyle and exactly what that means. No, it doesn't mean I dance naked around a campfire and I go do ayahuasca every weekend, which by the way is on my bucket list. So, not the point. And that basically means living in harmony with your body. When your period stops, it's your body telling you that something isn't fitting in with what your natural lifestyle should be. Whether you're restricting too much, whether you're, by the way, it has nothing to do with veganism or going vegan, whatever like that. It comes more to do with the stressor of restriction, like restricting your diet. Or lots of people, when they go vegan, a big thing that stops periods is if you don't have enough fats. And unfortunately, with that whole shredded lifestyle sort of momentum going on at the moment, everyone is so obsessed with the whole abs and the definitions and the booty gains, and they're more concerned about the aesthetics of it, great. If that's your passion, then I say go for it. But find that balance, because the long-term damage isn't worth looking a certain way momentary. So this is just me, like, pretty much as an introduction, explaining what happened to me, what's happened to probably a lot of you, and it is reversible. It is possible. One day, if you want kids, it's just more about finding a way to stop that stress in your life, stop that obsession. And even if, yeah, you're gonna panic at first when you start introducing fats and carbs, something foreign, but the panic is worth it, because it's a little bit of stress. That's a good type of stress, because that is only the moment you're introducing a new food group or something such as less exercise. But when your body adapts to that new routine, you should get your period back. I'm not saying you will, because it could be caused differently by a lot of different people. You never know. Different strokes for different folks is how they say. But anyway, I'm going to take you guys along on my journey when I add new foods in, what's changed, what I do now just to help me get it back. And hopefully you guys will like this mini series that I'm doing. If you do, if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I will get back to you. And I hope this makes some people feel less alone. And I hope it's just a bit of a warning sign for someone, getting them to take a closer look at themselves. One big trigger for me was I have a little sister. And as a bigger sister, I'm supposed to be a role model. And I realized the girls that she is looking up to and the girls that all these other teenagers are looking up to are these incredibly aesthetic, shredded type of females. And I want to say I have so much respect for people that do look that way, because I admire it. But I do want to show the other side of that coin, and that just making an informed decision, living your life the way you choose, but just understanding the consequences, knowing that this is what happens, but it's okay. If it has happened, let's work through it together. So let's start adding more starchy carbs. Let's start taking a rest day, even though that makes you want to vomit at the thought of doing it. It's okay. It's okay to panic. It's okay. Like, guys, it's the physical process of recovery is a lot easier than the psychological. It's so much easier to train a muscle, to do a squat, to see your quads being isolated, to watch that muscle develop. The most difficult muscle to train is this bad boy over here. And so that's why I wanted to do it together. It's like pretty much having a training buddy at the gym. It always just makes it easier. It's that motivation. It's so good sometimes to know that there's someone else that really does not feel like going to the gym today. It's just nice sharing that discomfort, sharing that irritation. You feel like more of a normal human being. So I hope this was helpful. Don't worry, this isn't me explaining what I'm doing to fix things, to recover. I just wanted some sort of short introduction to this mini series, and I will see you in my next video, which should be about natural remedies. So we're gonna go au natural before we talk about the supplements. So I'll actually address the both. So if you did like it, give it a thumbs up, and I am gonna post more often. And good luck to everyone out there that is going through something in their body that just makes them want to literally punch someone in the face, because I get it. It's stressful. Have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Mwah.